Hey Burgess, how we doing?
Pretty good. What up, John?
Dude, how's your day? How's things going? How's stuff?
Dude, work's work. Got
Gosh, now
home.
that's crazy. You and Desert are on the same thing today.
Yeah, dude, work's work, dude. That's all I have to say with the day. It's
That's what
bullshit.
he said.
I hate where I work right now. It actually kind of sucks. I'm like
Dude,
kind of scheming behind the scenes. Like I'm under like weird contractual obligations because my apprenticeship still. I'm not quite done. So I can't like quit, but I can get like laid off
hey
and then
Jaleesa.
like find new work. So I'm like kind of like finding new work behind the scenes. So hopefully gonna go build like a Costco down in Portland area or something soon instead. So hopefully it's gonna improve a lot here soon. But for now, fuck, dude.
Dude, I feel
God
you.
damn.
I feel you 100%. So, the other day it rained, right? So I went to work because I'm that way, right? If I'm scheduled to go to work, I show up to work. So, my trip to work consists of basically like a mile walk at a certain
Yeah.
point, right? Because I'm in the Cayman Islands right now. I got to take a bus to get to the entrance to where I have to then walk a mile to get to this hotel where I'm working at. So it's a whole thing. I've got a car in the
Yeah.
United States. I have an amazing truck in Honduras, but I don't have anything but 2 pairs of freaking shoes and on here in Cayman Islands. And so I get to work.
You can buy a little moped, dude. You need to be a
I know.
moped guy.
I know. Well, I'm about to
That's where
leave
it's
now.
at.
So it's whatever. But
100
so
miles per gallon, dude.
it's flooded at the hotel. So I call my boss. He's like, all right, go home. So I'm like, all right, I'll walk this mile back and I'll go home. Take the bus and go home. So I'm waiting for the bus. This random guy stops and he's like, hey, I'll pick you up. I'll give you a ride. And I'm like, yes, my savior, dude. He says, yeah, you don't have to pay me anything, blah, 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 blah. And he's just talking. I was worried because I was sweaty. I smelled bad. But this man smelled about 100 times worse.
Oh
Right?
god.
He asked me if he could smoke a cigarette in the car, and then I said, "Please, dear God, smoke that cigarette, please," to cover up the smell. Right?
Because a cigarette smells better in this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
And then
That's bad.
here's what
That's
happens.
really
Right?
bad.
As I'm sitting there, I see this Pepsi can, or what I thought was a Pepsi can,
Okay.
there in the front coaster of the car, right? And I'm not thinking anything. I'm like, okay, I'm halfway home. The guy tells me to stop talking every time we get to a intersection, but wants to talk to me the whole time. So he'll stop like, oh my gosh, like probably like 30 feet from the intersection. I'm like, what is going on here? There's just something off, right? This man picks up that Pepsi can, I thought, and it's actually 345, which is a local Cayman beer. It's the cheapest one you can possibly buy. And I was just like, oh,
Nice.
Lord. I need to get out of the car, but I'm almost home. So he takes me to my house. And then he's like, yeah, just give me $2, that you would have paid for the bus. And I was like, okay, cool. Take out my wallet, got $15 in my hand. He takes my $15 and he says, okay, yeah, that'll do. And then speeds off. So I got
Nice.
robbed, dude, on the day that I didn't actually even work.
So you got a free ride, but it was actually a robbery
Yeah, exactly.
/ DUI.
Dude, exactly. A DUI, but like, he said his dad was like in charge of the drug task force, so everybody knows him. Anyways,
Well, you had the most insane day,
dude.
How about we talk about something a little bit more positive and
Well,
do
the
a
positive
little-
part is that I'm here now, right?
That's true. Positive thing is you're here now. We got a cool ass guest with a cool project, community based. We love that shit. Let's do a little promotional stuff, and then we'll bring up our guest Matt.
Absolutely. I will kick it off by saying I am John. This is the JPEG Empire logo. I am a member of the JPEG Empire team. It is a community takeover project, and a lot of times those kinds of projects do not succeed. However, myself and the team have been building hard for many months now, and we've created a product for the benefit of the entire Cardano ecosystem, and we're really excited about it. We also have our first fundraise, which fundraise is an NFT project called the JPEG Boss, right? And so JPEG Bosses, right, are about achieving your absolute potential. And so we've created this platform that will be token gated by the JPEG Bosses. and we are currently minting, and minting is live. So anybody that mints is supporting JPEG Empire, is supporting a community takeover, and is going to have full unrestricted access to a
I
platform.
minted 3.
Dude.
3.
And there were some fire ones that you minted.
Every single one of mine was good. I was so happy. I was like, ooh, I got the lucky clicker today.
Now just wait until later when we have like a trades marketplace. We've implemented staking. We have all kinds of cool stuff that we're trying to do.
I'm excited about the app personally. The app's going to be the best part though. The app, you're going to have it on your phone. It's a new option for the Cardano community to keep track of their portfolio, NFTs. It's crazy. It's actually super good. And then,
yeah, man.
Fuck, you're talking about even bringing it bigger in the future. That's the more exciting part about it. It might be cross-chain. Who knows?
And we're not leaving to base, okay? And we're not going to leave you guys some rubies or sapphires or whatever those big things the Ape Society wants everybody to put up there. They're pretty bad. Anyways, so the other thing is we got a QR code up here from XC. If you make an account through that QR code, I get $5. You bought me coffee. I appreciate you. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. But MEXC has some of the lowest fees in the space. And that's the reason why when I trade, and I trade leverage sometimes, which you might lose all your money, so probably don't trade leverage. But if I want leverage, because I'm just itching for it, I go to MEXC. And then I was going to say CryptoChips.io is another one of our main channel sponsors. And they're fantastic. They have the best merch in crypto and Web3. They have a white glove service, so if you have any project, you can get them to make you a super special customized merch for your project, or for your community, or just for yourself. Passing it to you, Burgess.
Hell yeah. I always give a shout out to the Web3 Breakfast. This person on our show today, I actually met through the Web3 Breakfast. It's a great community show. They do it every single morning. I think they're at 9 o'clock now. I actually get to be there for Thursday and Friday this week. Hallelujah. I broke out of Auschwitz, but I get to take care of my son instead. Woohoo! But shout out to J-Chains. It's a great show. If you like a show about crypto and then a bunch of degenerate BS and that makes you laugh and just smile and lift your whole soul up in the morning, check out the Web3 Breakfast. I always give a shout out to one of my favorite NFT projects because I love the art and I love the other things that they're doing. Shout out to the Goons. Go check them out. They're on Solana, unfortunately. I'll be okay if you bridge the base, but I don't even think that's the same tech, so whatever. But they also make cool physical stuff. I think you can see my little figurine. They're basically aiming to be the new cause. That's why I love them. It's art. It's cool art. And then another one of our main channel sponsors, I'm making a very cool new video for us to use with the Cardano Clash emblem, but Ascent Rivals. It's a new video game. It is Web3 based on Cardano. We got a little trailer to show you. Here it is. That game was awesome. Dude, did I tell you I got a race in the sailing qualifier or the sailing tournament this last weekend?
Yes. I saw it on Twitter and I was jealous. I mean, like, geez, what a tournament. Like, those people really know how to play. Like, I suck. I've played it. I'm good. I like the game.
I think they're really going to, like, successfully make it like an esports type game. Like,
yeah,
super competitive. You're like the spectators can gamble on the games like with Cardano in the future, and do insane things, and you can ante up and make it super crazy. But another thing too, if you are part of a Cardano NFT community or another community in the Cardano ecosystem, please reach out to me there, either me or John, because we are looking to build teams. We have 4 or 5 teams right now, something like that. We have 4 or 5 teams. JPEG Empire is going to be playing. I'm going to be playing on their team. I don't know who else is playing. Hopefully Aaron's playing. I think I played with him. He's super good. But
Is he actually
if you,
good?
yeah, he's good.
I
He's
figured
good.
he would be. Jeez.
And I don't know how much he actually played, but he's good. I don't know. I think I played with him this one time because it was this name of this guy I'd never seen, and he was
Crypto
clean
7?
already. No, it was something else. Anyways, besides the fact, if you are in an NFT community and you're a gamer and you want to come play in that tournament, reach out to us. We can actually get you a team. There's qualifiers. If there's more than 2, I think we're at 2 racers per community. If there's more than 2 racers in your community that want to race, there's actually qualifiers for you to place and get in. So it's the best of the best. 5,000 ADA up for grabs and prizes, I think, in ADA. And then if you participate, you actually get a jersey with your name on it, with all the sponsors, with your NFT community on it. It's super cool. But yeah, that's all of our sponsors.
Let's bring up our guest.
Hell yeah.
Hey there, Matt. How we doing?
Great. How y'all? Thanks so much for having me.
What just
I
happened?
don't know. I don't know what I did.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah. So how's your day going, Matt? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Day's going fantastic. I found 4 VHS tapes. Remember those things that you put into the player and it would play like Beauty and the Beast or old Disney movies?
Yeah.
The original NFT. I found like 4 of them, and I took them to like the Podunk space and like outside of Durham, where I'm from, and gave them to some guy to digitize. So I'm really pumped to see like what's on them. It's gonna be fantastic.
Oh, that's sick. So
cool.
you're in
So you have no idea what's on them either?
Kind of have an idea, but it'll be really weird to see what's on there.
Are they at home? Are they like at home videos?
Yeah, like one is a play that I was in as a kid. One was
Nice.
Me on the news for predicting that the Panthers would make it into the '96 Stanley Cup Finals. There's a choir performance on there. It's pretty cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Some nostalgia right there.
Yeah. And my name is Matthew Snyder. I head up Block 3 Strategy Group. It's a consultancy that helps businesses, brands, and entrepreneurs get situated in the crypto space, understand how Web3 can enhance their bottom line, provide new user experiences. We're also a registered investment advisor. So in a world where people can't really give financial advice, I'm legally allowed to give financial advice, and we have a special expertise in the crypto space. I've been involved. I wrote a Bitcoin law paper in business school in 2015, so I've been investing in before like 2015, 2016. And I'm working right now with a company called Digital Wealth Partners as their chief investment officer, and we're working to build a number of basically buckets that high net worth individuals and other wealth managers can have access to in a plug and play way, so that they can give access to crypto to their clients and make it really easy for them to get access. And we help manage their accounts. We have institutional grade custody, so it's insured, multi-sig accounts, all that kind of stuff. And we're just getting all the stuff finalized now to start taking assets under management. It's going to be a great time.
Nice.
Dude,
that's super
massive.
exciting.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
So the baskets, are they going to be like kind of like categories? So like you're going to have like infrastructure, meme, layer 1 type stuff.
Yeah, so we're kind of looking at it from a risk perspective and saying like, how can we identify low risk assets in this space, and then also really high risk assets, and give people a menu to say like, here's your choice, like pick and choose
Like
which
a traditional feeling.
Right. And all the way down at the one end of that spectrum is going to be what they would call free, risk-free cash, which is like digital treasuries, right? Like I can go get, 6-7% on treasuries, or I can go hedge, some staking and earn, in those kinds of ways. So we can use different models to provide income. We can blend Bitcoin and cash, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and cash. Like you can do that and provide better returns than the S&P 500, and you don't have to go 100x, 2, 3, 400x, right? People are looking for, if people, there's an odd market of people who have already made their money in crypto and don't want to have to handle it and deal with it.
Yeah, so, I just want to be safe. Yeah,
exactly. So we help them kind of say, here's how you can manage that and maybe take advantage of some tax, situations and circumstances where you're able to take distributions early, tax-free, or whatever the case is that you can't really do right now, or it's very difficult to understand. So we're trying to make that really easy for people to get income and have like low risk access to crypto. That's
amazing. I love that.
But there's also like AI tokens and industry tokens. So there's a lot like higher risk ones too. So we're not totally negating that fact, but we want to try to build the spectrum.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So here's a question that I just want your opinion on it. If you happen to know, if not, I'll tell you a little bit about it. But have you heard anything or paid attention to ASI, which is going to be coming up on the 11th? So ASI is interesting because what it's going to be is actually going to be a weighted basket of 3 of the top AI coins. So it's actually going to be Fetch AI, Ocean, and AGIX. They're going to merge them all into one token on the 11th.
Right.
Okay. And what's
I
this
recall
through,
about hearing this.
What'd you say?
What did you say this is through? Like, how are they back?
The companies are doing it.
Yeah, the companies
are like merging into one. Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. I forgot about that. It's called ASCI.
ASI. ASI.
Okay.
And it's super interesting because like they basically tackled like 3 of the biggest sectors, right? So you have Fetch AI, which is kind of like an Oracle AI service, like blockchain Oracle. And then you have Ocean, which is going to be like a data marketplace for like custom experiences based on what certain people likes and caters to. And then you also have AGIX, which is just straight up an AI agent that can use different stuff.
Yeah. Very, very smart of them to do. It really helps build and scale their ecosystem, I think, 100%.
Yeah, that token, for anybody that's listening, Fetch is actually going to be able to trade 1-to-1 for ASI, but then there's going to be some kind of like it'll be like 3-to-1 or for AGIX and Ocean. And so when that comes out, it'll automatically be at $2.85. So something, not financial advice, right? But there's likely going to be a lot of sell pressure when that happens. But if you have any of the others early, it might be a good time to de-risk and then prepare for a better opportunity.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
I'm one less token to worry about, right?
Exactly.
I'm definitely going to look at it as like a buy opportunity because I've like thought about buying all of those coins before, but now it's like going to be even more beneficial because it's like more bang for your buck, you know?
Okay, so one of the first questions I have is you're in Raleigh, Durham, but North Carolina, right? And is that where you grew up? Where are you from?
No, I'm from Los Angeles originally. I went to school.
Only a little bit better in Durham.
Yeah. It's funny. I get to my in-laws' house like 10, 20, or about 20 minutes away, and I hit 3 lights, and I can get that far. It's just kind of like left on the freeway, and then like a right. Right? And I went to school in Boston for undergrad. I went to BU. I lived in China for a year after that, and lived in DC and back to LA. And my wife and I moved to Portland, Oregon, and we spent about 6 or 7 years there. And then 2.5 years ago, we moved to Durham. Well, best place I've lived by far.
Durham?
Really?
Yeah, this place rocks.
How do you feel about Portland? You were there for a little while.
Yeah, it was beautiful when I was there. I really, really enjoyed it. One of my best friends lives there. My sister-in-law lives in Vancouver. I have a lot of family in Seattle.
Nice.
But yeah, it just I think the fires were like a really big challenge for us. We were based in Selwood, and there was one of the summers there that got pretty gnarly close. And it just, I think, kind of was, you're working remotely, like you could live anywhere. We kind of just thought, where else could we live? And So we just kind of like, we didn't throw a dart at the board basically, but we narrowed it down pretty easily. We came and visited, spent some time in North Carolina, and just fell in love with the place.
Oh yeah, awesome.
That's awesome. So, should we hit them with the two questions? The two very stressful questions that are like determinative. They're determinative of the whole direction of the rest of the show, basically.
Pretty much, because everyone's gonna judge the shit out of you. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. So should I
All right.
start?
Yeah.
All right. So I always ask this question because John is a huge movie buff.
Okay.
There's one specific kind of movie that he hates. He can describe it if he wants to, but he hates describing it, and that's why I love to bring that up.
Only if
Okay.
it comes up.
But what is your favorite movie? And don't get this wrong, because this guy down here.
It's probably got to be Back to the Future.
That's a
Okay,
great movie.
excellent one. Did you go to consensus?
No, I man, the FOMO was real. I should have been there, but no,
Well,
I didn't go.
the reason is because I heard everybody talking about the Back to the Future DeLorean was actually there.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah.
No. When I was a kid, I used to live by Universal Studios, and they had what is now the Simpsons venue, I believe, but it was a Back to the Future ride, and they had these
remember.
giant like IMAX screens, and they sat you in the DeLorean. And then down the escalator, they had this sound stage where they would pick one kid, and they said, you can sit in the DeLorean, and they'll bring in the other girl as the girlfriend, and they'll put you in there at night, and it'd be like you're driving there at night in the DeLorean, and it'll be like on the set. And every weekend I would tell my dad, like, we're going. And every weekend I would raise my hand, and every weekend they'd be like, you in the front row. And I'd just go to do it, just to go sit in this fake DeLorean.
That's
That's
awesome.
super sick.
I always had like a weird fantasy of like wanting to own one so badly, like as like my first or second car, you know,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like just to be that guy, you know, that guy
Oh,
with
yeah.
the DeLorean. So cool.
I made model cars of them all the time, and my uncle's a mechanic. He's like, they leaked all the time. They were unreliable. They were like pretty awful cars.
And weren't
but-
they like lemons pretty much?
Oh
like,
yeah, but
considering?
they bought a lot of cocaine though.
Yeah, I bet. That's fucking hilarious.
Well,
Oh my
I was
gosh.
gonna say
That's a good
you all-
transition.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
wow.
good transition. That is yeah. Cocaine is an excellent transition for this next question. But so I need you to paint me a picture with your words. Okay.
Okay.
If you can go anywhere in the world and you're not paying for it, somebody else is like, carte blanche, blank check, whatever you want to eat, whatever you're ordering, I need to know what you're eating. I want to know like what temperature it's at. I want a very vivid, intimate description of what you're about to eat. Where are you going? What are you eating?
Okay. This is just a food situation. Okay.
Anything though. The
so-
meal.
Yeah,
The
if you need to
meal.
go to China to get like, part of your meal and then go to Ireland to get the other
Okay.
part, like
Okay. So about you're both on the West Coast, right?
Yes.
I'm in the Cayman Islands. But
Okay. So well, you'll appreciate this.
yeah.
So about 6 hours. I'm trying to paint the picture. So you go 6 hours west of where Burgess is, and there's a small island called Maui, and on that island is a restaurant that I'm now forgetting the name of, but they have the tables kind of like out on a dock, out on the water. So it's real shallow water, but you're basically just floating kind of on the water and eating dinner. And
That sounds amazing.
like sunset,
this sounds
all very
amazing.
nice. Drinks, great, appetizers, great, but they have this like red snapper, like this whole fish that they bring you. And it's just like on a rack, and there's veggies underneath and rice underneath. And it's an actual meal that I had. It's unreal. Probably the best fish I ever had. It's the only time you eat the head of the fish and you're like, yes, I'm eating the head of this fish because it is that good.
Interesting.
See, my wife loves fish, and so like that's definitely going to be like a bull market move of mine. That's going to be a bull market move. I'm going to have
That's a
to.
great question. That's a great
We
question.
never actually hit like we never did really a honeymoon thing. We kind of
Hmm.
did the honeymoon before we got married. So it's kind of like we went to there's a little island in Honduras called Utila. So a lot of people know about Roatan. Roatan is like very touristy, very big, very expensive. Utila is super small. There are no main roads, and so you basically drive a golf cart or like a scooter around the whole island. And there's not much really like on the whole island, but it's beautiful, crystal clear water, little tiki huts kind of like out in the ocean. You know what I mean? Beer is like 60, 75 cents. Yeah, man.
That
We had
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
65 cents?
$40 a night, and that was the nicer hotel.
65 cents though for beer?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's
And
what
they're like the really nice light pilsners, I'm sure too, that just like you're out in the sun and drinking them. They're just like
So
Just
it's
so
actually-
refreshing.
it's
Just so
kind of like a
refreshing.
lager, and it's
Okay.
a little bit dark, but it kind of reminds me of like a Corona, but just like slightly darker.
like a Negro Modelo.
Yeah, but a little lighter than that.
Okay.
But it's called Salva Vida, and Salva Vida is like literally a life preserve, like a lifesaver.
Mhm.
And so that's what that's what the brand is, the local Honduran beer.
Yeah,
So when you
nice.
see it, you got to try it. It's good.
Yeah.
But, so what are you getting for dessert though? Are you?
Yeah. If it's got to be like an ice cream. Like I'm kind of off the dairy train, so like any oat milk ice cream, it's got to be cookie dough and it's got to have a ton of sprinkles. And I'm like the guy that'll take the waffle cone, you put one scoop on, you put the sprinkles on, and then they put the other scoop on, and then more sprinkles on, because I'm not trying to like let them skimp on the
Yeah.
sprinkles.
Interesting.
Yeah, make sure that they get it. So you just order one at a time,
Yeah,
right?
pretty
So
much.
you're like, hey, I need that. Put some sprinkles on it. Actually, let's add one more
Yeah,
now.
make it too.
I mean, you know,
What is it about the sprinkles that really get you?
I don't
It's
know.
like it's just like the crunch.
You know, it's funny. I didn't realize this the other day. It kind of blew my mind when I said it, but I was like, sprinkles are the condiments for ice cream.
yeah.
Like I'd never realized it's like the salt and pepper of like, it's an added seasoning.
Yeah, like it totally is.
It's like-
why
it's
did
like
I
more
never
sugar.
think about it like that? Yeah, it totally is. It's like more sugar. It's like because ketchup's just more sugar. That's what sprinkles is. It's just more
Yeah.
sugar. It's so crazy. What a weird way to think about it.
But that's
I
financial
noticed-
advice.
That's
really
financial. Yeah, exactly. He's an official financial advisor, everyone. So he can tell you it's financial advice.
Double up on the sprinkles.
Yeah.
I noticed that we had a couple more people roll in, like right around 7:00. So just so you know, everyone, our new showtime is now at 6:30, starting from here on out. So thank you everyone for coming. This is Matt. Give him a follow. It should be in the title. Give Hive Investment a little look-see and give Block Strategy a follow. I kind of want to talk about Hive Investment because it's a pretty cool little idea. Well, it's not an idea, it's an actual thing. There's about 8 people in it, community based, but let's let Matt talk about it. Let him spill the beans on the Hive.
Yeah. So I love trading, but I have kind of a longer term mindset of things that are going on, and there's so many activities and tokens, and there's so much market activity that I feel like I'm missing out on. And so I was like, how can I scale this effort? And I thought, I wish I could let other people trade my money. That would be really nice, because I feel like if I got enough smart people together, they could do better than I could, and collectively we could make more money than I could myself. And so my company has our own like asset portfolio, digital assets, and we said, okay, we're going to put $25,000 into a portfolio, and we're going to create a group that could be no more than say 50 people, just to try it out as a proof of concept. And we're going to let those people earn money by trading our money. And the way we did that was basically create a Discord channel where people are allowed to make proposals. Members make proposals. We have a Discord bot, like a really cool curated proprietary bot that like helps you write a proposal. Say I want Bitcoin long for 20 days, and I want to take profit at 15%. We'll let you propose that trade. And then the next day, people can vote on that trade. And if you get enough votes during the week, we will execute that trade every Friday. So people propose Monday through Wednesday, they vote on Thursday, and then we execute trades Friday. And if your proposal gets executed and we trade it and it's profitable, we'll pay you 15% of the profits from that trade. And if you're voting for that trade, we'll allocate 3% of the profits to the voters pool as well. So even if you vote, you get a little bit of money as well. And if the trade goes to absolute shit, you're not responsible for any of the money or any of the capital loss, because it's our portfolio and we bear that trade. So
Awesome.
in addition to being able to do that and participate in the group, you can, get ideas about trades. You can try things out. You will have a community of people who you can engage with. We'll have Ask Me Anythings from an investment advisor. You get a copy of my book, Warren Buffett in a Web3 World. We have like events where we try to get people together and just like help educate people on how to trade, but also, make some money and a little bit risk-free from their perspective.
Nice. So what is like the entry fee for joining?
Yeah, so the membership fee it's a $295 membership fee, and the ability to we said maybe we'll do it for a year, but I think we actually just want to try to fill up the 50. So we're going to make it like lifetime. If we can get enough people, the goal is to have other cohorts and have people be able to compete against each other. Or if you're, say, a community, like say the Web3 Breakfast wants to throw together. I actually got the idea from Web3 Breakfast Purchase, because they were like, okay, here's a $10,000 portfolio. What do we do with it? And I was like, well, we actually should do something with it. And if we were incentivized and it wasn't money we were worried about losing, you could have some fun with it. So people can earn money. I was telling Burgess before that we've done 11 trades so far. We have had 4 profitable trades where the portfolio is $100 and the profit out of $2,000 that's been laid out. And members have received over, what was it here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Our members have received over $50 that we'll pay out to them at the end of the quarter. And every trade is fixed at $500. So it makes it easy for us to say, like, it doesn't matter what the price is. It doesn't matter what the size of the position is. We're just going to give you a $500 shot. So if you want to use leverage, for example, you could place a $100. You could have a proposal that was, I want to go short Solana and I want to use a $100 long position. A $100 short position leveraged at 5x. And that would give you enough capital to take that position. And if you got liquidated, it would liquidate automatically. We set stop losses at 50% for every trade. And you have the ability as a proposer to set ways that you want to take profit. So you can let it ride, or if you want to take profit at 20%, 30%, it's up to you.
I can't hear you as loud right now.
Sorry, I turned down my gain because my son was crying very loudly. I didn't know if it would bleed into it. It's bedtime and he's a little frustrated. He doesn't want to go to bed. But it's funny. I hadn't done like a whole deep dive into this yet, and once I actually talked to you earlier and like understood it a little bit better, I was like, dang, I really need to join this myself, because I'm learning how to like leverage trade right now, and the more ideas the better. And if I can just passively like make money helping other people make money while I'm trying to learn how to make money, it's just money. It's money everywhere. Love it.
Yeah, it's the way that we kind of get around it is if we have a group of 50 people and they all pay $295, like the amount that we would take in is close to like maybe $14K. And we had to kind of be specific about how we did this, because the optics look weird if we take people's money and then say, oh, here's a portfolio that we created and we'll trade on your behalf. So what we did is we said, like, we actually now have like 10K skin in the game above what the membership fees would cost. So if everything went to like total shit, we'd lose 10K. We'd still have 14 from the membership fee, but it's a way to sort of insulate our risk. And we go out on the limb and say, like, we don't mind losing the money at all, but we insulate it. And this sort of treads the line very lightly by saying, like, nobody's actually, like, you as a member are not doing anything and you're just getting rewarded for participating.
Yeah, just talking about it.
Yeah.
But also, as long as it's like under 100 people, right, then it's like considered an investing club, right?
99, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thought that was actually just crossing my mind too. Is like this is like even more or less risk than that, in my opinion, and because it's like really, it's really you're not even putting your own money out there. It's like literally someone else's,
Yeah, it's so in any case, like it's been a lot of fun. We launched it 4 or 5 weeks ago, and we've just been getting a lot of feedback from like the community that we have, and we're trying to add more people. And it's been a lot of fun just to build. If you want to see, so that's really cool, the potential rewards calculator. This basically shows you on the website, based on a $500 trade, if you had X amount of profit, this is how much money you would make as a personal contributor for that proposal. So that's the way, like we wanted people to be able to see like, okay, you might be paying $295, but you could easily, if you do this once a week and you get one proposal a month, or even 2 or 3 proposals a quarter, and you're making $15-20, like it's going to cover the cost pretty well. And if you're getting educated and having a good time, at least you can have a chance to earn it back and, at least test ideas. I think that's the cool thing, is testing ideas.
And if you're smart too, you should start trying to apply like what you're learning from this group, like on your own time, on top of it. You know what I mean? Because that's where the real money's made, is with your own money.
Exactly. So that's a fantastic point, which is you are free to emulate every trade that gets proposed or made, or people put out ideas and you're like, why didn't I think of that? You 100% can go do that, and it's all visible in this Discord that we have, and it's all just for the people who are members. So,
and I feel like people don't realize is like, once you get into the community of traders and you go and try to find resources, I mean, you have to pay the piper to play the game, but there's groups of people that you can talk to and are working together to understand what to do, so you should do it if you can. This is the way.
So yeah, and at the very, very bottom, there's a membership agreement, which also has other rules. Like if people want to see like the actual deep rules of like how the game is played, and it's kind of like what it is, how the game is played, they can always check that out too.
Says down.
Yeah, all the way at the very bottom, there's a thing that says membership agreement, and that right there. So like it's basically just the rules of the game. So showing my hand, it's not entirely proprietary. Anybody could do this, right? So the idea is to build a community. But I have this dream of being able to sell it to like the Web3 Breakfast, or somebody who has a big community in Web3, like the Doginals, right? Like what if Books Embark want to have, they put $1 million into this thing and let their community trade their coins for them.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Here is my proposal or idea for you that you should maybe look at. So I have been a big fan of a project called Omen. I'm not sure if you know about Omen. Omen is on Cardano blockchain, but the reason is because they have this system called Pneumonium. So Pneumonium was like the origins of the project. And so it's a DAO system, right? And so the way that it works essentially is that you have all these community members that they lock up their funds and then also their NFT into the like DAO governance. So then they determine as a group what's going to happen with the treasury funds. Okay, so the people that got in first and that were helping the treasury make these decisions and moves to make money, they get their percentage of it when they like unstake and then they restake. So like some of those original people were able to make like upwards of 300%. And that's because the treasury actually was very successful with the community governance. And apparently the DAO structure that they're using, I'll have to find what the company is called, but there's a company that basically like makes DAO structures. And you can just like basically copy paste that DAO structure, tools, the toolkit, and then implement it with your community. So that way you have the NFT, and that's kind of like your stake, right? Like instead of $250, dollars with fiat, you could actually be that way the whole way, and then you grow bigger and you can change the way that you do it. But
that's fascinating.
I'm
Thank
telling
you.
you,
I'll definitely read I'll definitely read about this. Thank you.
project you need to look into. I think
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the most decentralized, like
Mhm.
very productive projects that require involvement on Cardano. That is one of the long-term goals of JPEG Empire is to get to that
Nice.
place. But
I love that you're in the Cardano ecosystem. One of our strategic advisors works at Emergo. I'm just a big fan of the platform, Book.io. A lot of good activity going on.
we'll see. So now you got to mint a JPEG Boss.
That's right.
It's 99 ADA. Who
You
knows?
got it.
Also get a custom because we have 4 customs that are still on the minter. And the customs, you can make it however you want. So you can make it themed with
Okay.
block strategy and Hive
Nice.
all over, just super unique. One of
I
one.
love it. I love it. Very cool.
There we go. All right. I mean, I don't know. My other question is always like, how did you get into crypto? Like, what was the first thing that happened?
That's what I was thinking as well. That's
There's
funny. That's same wavelength right now. I'm like, we need to ask that question. Who were you before crypto, and how did you get here?
Because I mean, you've got like $1 billion in Bitcoin now.
I got like a trillion, quadrillion. Yeah.
1 trillion, quadrillion.
Yeah. So I've always been like a big finance nerd, and I was in business school for a little while, and I was kind of doing some research on new finance stuff, and I was like, this is really interesting. And at the time, I was also really interested in like Warren Buffett, and I started reading his shareholder letters, and I started reading like The Intelligent Investor and Benjamin Graham, and then I started reading like Andreas Antonopoulos, and realizing like how screwy the whole system is and how important blockchain is and how much of a fiction money really is, and like just kind of really internalizing all that and loving that so much. And then my buddy comes over, and we're hanging out, and this is in Portland, and we're getting a beer, and he's like, have you heard of this Bitcoin thing? And I said, like, at that moment I knew that I needed to go like really full bore and do a lot more research about this and learn about this. Is back in 2016. And I remember buying bits of Ethereum and Bitcoin back at, $200 and what was it, $4,000 for Bitcoin. And we would pay each other back for beer with crypto. And that was how the wallet became like understood, right? I was like, oh, I can just send him the thing and he gets it. And then I would go to like the Salt app, or not Salt, like the Exodus app that was like the desktop that you could change the different tokens, and then CryptoKitties and Decentraland and the fucking snowball. So that's how it goes.
That's massive.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's always interesting to hear how people hear about crypto for the first time because it's so diverse. It's like so different. Like for me, it's like my nerdy ass friend in the Silk Road. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Other people, it's like super like, yeah, you should buy this. This is gonna make a lot of money, dude. It's like, dang, 2 different worlds.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it for my crypto journey.
That's super interesting. So then, okay, I guess tell me about block strategy.
Block 3 strategy.
Block 3 strategy. Yep.
Yeah. So I was, COVID hit. I was working at a new startup, and I was actually testing a landing page idea, and I'd never made a landing page before. And a couple of my buddies were talking about NFTs, and I was like, oh, you mean CryptoKitties? And this was like in 2020. Yeah, 2020. And so I created a landing page called NFTconsulting.io. And I was like, well, I'm a consultant. I could do a side gig. This is maybe I'll side hustle and teach people about NFTs and blockchain. And like in the summer, like into the fall, like the phone just like wouldn't stop ringing. People like, I've got a coffee shop. I've got a wine gallery. I make all this content. I want to make NFTs. What are these apes all about? Like, can you teach me to do this? Like, I had one guy say I have all these music posters that I don't own, like just people looking to token or like make anything into an NFT. And so I ended up kind of working my way through building a little business within the consultancy, which was to buy poker NFTs that were it was in Decentraland. You could buy poker NFTs, and you could delegate people who got these NFTs, and they would play poker for you. and I got the other partners on board that I was working with from that are part of Block 3, Ron, Russell, and Steven. And I said, guys, I got a little NFT business here. We can send out all these people and they can go play poker for us and we'll take a part of the rake. And they love this idea. So we invested a whole bunch of money in these like NFTs, and it was crushing it for like a few months. And then the market just like went all to shit. And they made way too many of these things and there was a bunch of cheating. And so like we learned our lesson, but we changed Block 3 strategy from NFT consulting because we wanted to widen the aperture of what we were doing from a consultancy basis and say like, okay, let's not just focus on NFTs, but let's look at some other things. And that's how we did that. And then I realized that everybody wasn't giving financial advice. And I was like, well, shit, I could go take this test, the Series 65. And I went and passed that. And now I'm a registered investment advisor. And then we wrote this book about like, here's a snackable investment guide for you to like use Warren Buffett's wisdom. And yeah, now
that's an amazing
now
transition.
I'm here talking to y'all.
That's
Will you-
awesome.
Yeah.
Will you read me the title of that book and bring it up to the camera too as well?
Yeah,
A
it's
little
called
bit.
Warren Buffett in a Web3 World.
Okay, perfect, fantastic.
And I'm happy to send you a copy, but it's pretty easy to read. It's not meant to be everybody. A lot of people joke that it's a great bathroom read, which is a totally unintended consequence, but you know, at least people read it. And it's meant to just be like a snackable investment guide for the Web3 space. So, but we took Warren Buffett's wisdom from the shareholder letters and kind of juxtaposed the two together in a way that is kind of unique.
That's
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Can you buy it at Barnes and Noble? Or
You actually can if Barnes
Nice.
and Noble's still around. It's also on Amazon,
Oh, yeah, it
which
is.
is where most
Dude,
people buy their books.
It's so funny. I hate buying books online.
I love the
Like if
bookstore. I love going
like
there.
yeah, like same. I went to go buy a couple books recently and would not buy it online. I went to Barnes and Noble, they didn't have it. I went to 3 different local bookstores, and the last one had it. I just drove around like all day. I like felt like an old man, but I was like, it's like a book. Like I need to go get it from a library or like a bookstore type situation. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
feels
like-
right.
It's a good way to discover new books. I like to read like
That
business
too. Yeah.
books. So yeah,
Have you read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I have not.
Oh gosh, that is one you need to read. It's just so good and it's so funny. It's ridiculously funny.
Yeah, but there's like a movie too, though.
Yeah, but the movie's nothing to do with the book. The book
That's
is
true.
good.
That's what I've
The
heard.
movie's like, it's made for like, the movie is made for. Well, you've seen Idiocracy,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? Okay, so I feel like they really dumb it down. Anyways, they really dumb down the Guide to the Galaxy book, or I mean movie, the movie. I have one of the lines actually tattooed onto my side. Fun fact. So there's a part where there's like 20 pages. They're miserable traveling through a desert planet that's basically every stop that has civilization is a tourist trap. And then so they hate that aspect of it more. And then they get to the end to see God's last message to all creation. And then they have to pay money to put like a coin in a thing. Which they don't have money. They get a coin, put it in a thing to like look at it in like binoculars, old school style, Grand Canyon style. And they read them. And it is sorry for the inconvenience
Yeah.
in enormous, fiery, heavenly letters in Times New Roman font. So sorry for the inconvenience, period, in Times New Roman font.
Wow. I love
God's last message to all creation. You know what I mean?
it.
Interesting.
Okay, fantastic. So you said you like to read. What are some of your favorite books?
It's a good question. I think, the Walt Disney biography is one of my absolute favorite books. I like a lot of biographies. I finished the Arnold Schwarzenegger one recently. That one was also really, really fantastic. I am reading a book right now called the Bitcoin Standard and the Fiat Standard. It's two
Yep.
books together.
Both very
Very, very, very good books. Yeah, I like a lot of like business books. I'm also reading a book about like options trading.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Options trading is good. I started getting into it for a little bit, and then I realized it was a little bit out of my depth unless I spent a lot more time on it.
It's important from the digital wealth partners perspective. Like if you're kind of managing money, there's a need to hedge a lot, and there's an easy, if you do it consistently, if you're not like it makes it a little bit easier to do if you're doing it consistently with.
So you hedge your like spot trades with options, pretty much, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and like in there's ways where you can go long on something and then have a short future.
Yeah,
or like a short perpetual, things like that. And we want to be able to provide opportunities for asymmetric return so that they're always open. So basically, like find 5% of the portfolio that you don't mind tearing up and blowing out completely, but that 5% could lead to 100x gain, and that would totally, if the market went totally in a different direction. So like basically spending a little bit of money every month or every couple months to bet against the market in a heavy way, but like that still makes up a small amount of your portfolio. Do that consistently enough, something's going to happen, and that'll actually pay off when everything else goes down. So you just have to be thinking about that. And then crypto doesn't have a lot of tools. they don't allow a lot of options trading, so we have to either create synthetic instruments, or we have to find a partner that's inside or outside the US that we can do this with.
Do you see that being like in the future, like trading being more, like just more options of trading being on chain?
Yeah.
Like options, for example, you can buy options on chain.
Mm-hmm. The one of the most fascinating things that I've seen so far from a new perspective is a perpetual. They don't exist in traditional finance because the market closes, right? So the ability, and they don't really have leverage trading without margin. So like a lot of platforms won't let you leverage trade unless you're using margin, which is what they consider leverage, which is kind of a misnomer. But being able to do that on a DEX permissionlessly without AML KYC is like insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's
what chains have you ever used any chains and used that feature?
You mean perpetuals?
Yeah,
like Jupiter is fantastic. It's the one I'm using. I kind of maybe doing a little farming for another potential airdrop. There's a couple that we're looking into that the names are blanking on me right now. I can't remember. Archax isn't it? But I think Archax has options. But I'm trying to find a place I can buy options. Coinbase will let you do futures, which is good enough for me.
We have a financial advice question, I feel like, that just came in. Here, I'll pull it up. I have a question. If investing in crypto, can I use my coins in a slot machine or any other online casino?
Yes.
With stake.com, you can do that.
Yes. With stake.com, you can.
Which
in the
they
United
should be our sponsor.
Stake.us, right?
We need that $1 million a month sponsorship from stake.com.
Fuck, dude, that would be killer. Then I could make a shit ton of content. That's for sure. Holy crap! If I had a whole day on my hands, the amount of stuff I could get done. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So Matt, we're getting here to the end, but do you have any questions for us? We always do this reverse Uno card, just like when we're getting here to the end, because we've had a good time so far.
Yeah, appreciate it. One question for me is, how did you both start this show? Like, come together and start this show?
It's a good question.
All right, so I'll tell it because I don't know. I reached out to John. So way back when, I don't know, like September last year. I don't know. Wintertime last year, I got a junkie. I won it on like AJ Wright crypto stream, and I was like, cool. I don't know shit about Cardano, and I don't know shit about NFTs, so this is awesome. And I got thrown down a rabbit hole. So I jumped into junkies. I met John. John was like one of the first people I met. He was super awesome. Showed me a bunch of like rare junkies to buy and all this cool stuff. And I was like, sweet, jumped on that. And so I built this friendship with him. And I think some time went by, and I kind of said something about starting a show with the junkies. Well, like that never came to fruition, but it still was in the back of my head, and I was still like going down a bunch of rabbit holes. Well, eventually I was like, okay, I want to make content because it'd be super fun, and I need a partner, and John's the guy. I just was like, John's the guy because he had so much energy, and it was like directed the right way, and I like buttered him up. I like called him and I was like, yo bro, I got this killer idea. You want to start a show? And he was like, fuck yeah, I want to start a show. And I was like, cool, so we need to come up with a name. He's like, I got the name, dude. I was like, what? Okay, what is it? And he said the name, and I was like, I love it, that's super clever. And that's how it was born, just like boom. Nice. And we just threw it together and we built this stuff, and yeah, perfect. Made it all pretty and shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you do this weekly?
Yeah, so we do it every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30. This Thursday we are not doing it because my wife is going on, or my soon-to-be wife is going on her bachelorette trip.
Nice.
And then I think we have to cancel 13, unfortunately, too, because of something. But
the 13th?
Yeah, the 13th. We have to move Nikita from Cometa again. I haven't DM'd him yet, but I like literally am sitting here just like, fuck. I had to move him once for some reason, and now I have to move him again. It's so unprofessional. No. No, I don't want to send a message. I don't want to do it. But I'm going to. But yes.
So
but yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday.
Awesome.
And Thursday, Loot Creativity. We are the late night. That's our slogan. We are the late night.
Nice. Well,
Yeah,
I'm so happy no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I have another question for you. So, like, if you had like a top handful of the things in crypto that you're the most interested in, what are they? Right? Like, what do you think, I guess, like, is the most revolutionary thing if you believe in all that?
I would say the combination, probably the tokenization of treasuries. The tokenization of financial instruments is going to completely change the way we interact and participate in the digital economy. And I don't mean that from like a blockchain perspective, I don't mean that from like a crypto perspective, because I think people talk favorite token, favorite chain, favorite L1, favorite L2. I kind of take it from like a traditional finance perspective to say the fact that you can tokenize a treasury or tokenize real estate or tokenize a mine or tokenize this and that. You can use real dollars for that. You can use USD for that. You don't need crazy chains. You can use them, that's fine. But this concept of being able to unlock liquidity in a lot of locked up liquidity is really, really cool.
So you like the restaking, basically, like the liquid staking and the restaking, that's something that you're really interested in?
So those give me more cause for concern. I'm more interested in ways that we'll be able to, like, for example, if you
like
have
collateralize a treasury and then get
exactly
be able to leverage your
or collateralize, what if you could sell part of your home instead of a HELOC? People could have equity in your home, or you walk down the street and you see the construction going on and like the sign, and there's a QR code that takes you to the website, but then it says you could also be a shareholder in this building if you want, because we have an equity, we have a stack for funds in the capital structure. You have equity and debt. Well, what if you had like a small sliver in there that was like public equity, and people could use it. People could buy it without having to be an accredited investor. You could do that really easily. Yeah,
we one of the projects that we shout out as well is Whimsy. Whimsy Estate. So Whimsy Estates, Eddie Cara, he is basically doing that, tokenizing real estate opportunities. And the way that it works is they curate the opportunity, and then you're basically able to buy a fraction with as little as $100.
Mhm.
They've got a super beautiful property in Belize, and then they're about to announce one in Costa Rica. And
Nice.
the thing is, if you're a holder, there may be opportunities for staying there for free.
Right.
Yeah, because you're
So, is their platform launched?
it is not.
Yeah.
They're working on
they're
that
not.
because they still got the they still have some of the legal stuff that they're doing. Like it's going to
yeah.
be your tokenized securities.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, because it is a securities offering, and so they've done it the right way. They've gone all
and
through
that's
the process.
and that's why they need registered investment advisors, because we can do that.
Yeah.
Are
There
you
you go.
familiar with them? Have you worked with them before?
Oh, I've
or-
definitely. I haven't worked with them, but I definitely know what they're up to. They're a very interesting
Yeah.
project.
It's a super cool project. I'm curious
Yeah.
what how the longevity is on it. I want to buy a fraction probably personally.
Mhm.
I think the Belize houses are mostly actually already purchased.
Mm.
But yeah, Costa Rica, they're looking at other places internationally, and so it's he said it would be super easy to just spin up this same company outside of the United States, but doing it inside of the United States is where the headache comes in, and he wanted to do
Yeah.
the hard work.
Hey, the
So,
headache's worth it though. The headache comes with a lot of money at the end of it sometimes,
Sometimes.
Maybe.
I used to be a consultant out at Nike, and they had a whiteboard with a saying right on the top of the whiteboard that says, "Is the juice worth the squeeze?"
Oh, that's
And
funny.
that's how you got to think about it.
So that's interesting. So Nike, you worked for
Mhm.
Nike. When was that?
2016, 2017, 18, 19, and into 20.
Interesting.
I worked for a management consulting firm, and I worked out there for 3.5 years. Marketing, data analytics, all that kind of stuff.
There was a guy that I knew that I think he was the CEO for a time before he stepped down, Chad Whitman.
Yeah, his name sounds familiar.
Well, anyways, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we became friends there for a little bit.
Parker.
Chad Whitman.
Chad Whitman. It's a very
Yeah.
generic name, but
It is a very generic name. But yeah, we ended up being friends. We actually installed a fireplace for him at a different job that I worked at. And then we
Nice.
started talking about crypto and stuff, and he was telling me about all this other stuff and stocks, and yeah, man. But anyways,
nice.
so thank you so much, Matt, for joining us.
Of course.
Hang out for a little moment after we go off. We appreciate you so much for joining us, and we'll have to have you back in the future.
I would love to.
I want to get involved with Hive. It'll
Yeah.
take me a little while to be at a place where I can, but I'm going to do it.
I got you guys.
It's on my list.
Appreciate it.
100%.
All right. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much for the time, y'all.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Man, what did you think? That was great.
That was a great show. Hell yeah. Freaking,
man.
I'm really excited about the Hive. I want to jump in there and actually check out what's going on because I was trading in the middle of the show, to be honest. I'm like all in on trading. So the more info, the better. And if it's like a group of people all just freaking dialed in, dude, that's what it's about. I like it.
That's fantastic. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It was a fantastic show. And we'll see you not this Thursday.
Should we do the send off with a scent trailer one more time? Just we have more people watching. We're trying to look for people
to race in our tournament.
Yeah, we have a tournament coming up, a video game tournament. If you're into racing and shooting and competitive games, this game is going to be on Cardano. We're going to be hosting the Cardano class. There's going to be 10 communities. We got 5 communities on board. If you're part of an NFT community and you want to play and win a part of 5,000 ADA, check this game out. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Love you.
Peace.